Hey guys, alright, I'm going to show you how to use the manual lathe in this video. Okay, a couple quick things. This is our piece. This is the lathe. Emergency stop. This is how you start. You stop it. This controls which direction the spindle is spinning. This controls the speed. This controls the thread speed. You're not going to probably be using this that much. I think I'm just going to have you guys using tap and dies. I'll show you what that is later. But right now, depending on the size of what you're using, you're going to change these speeds. I've got it on C because it's a little faster because I'm doing a smaller piece and has less of a diameter to go around. So whenever you're using a piece, there's a couple rules. First, this is a chuck key. It's got a spring in there, which is a safety feature. It keeps you from being able to leave this chuck in here because you can imagine if I left that chuck in there and put the machine on, it's gonna like fling around and hurt somebody. So you never, like, that's one of the common ways people get hurt is by a chuck key being left in. Okay, so I'm gonna loosen this, turn it to the left to open it. I'll put my piece in. Now, one important thing about my piece is that right here, I'm gonna measure the diameter. Okay, the diameter here, get a little close. I don't know if you can see, it is 0.5 inches, so half an inch. Okay, I don't want this ever sticking out more than 4 times the diameter. Okay, so what's 4 times 0.5? You guys, 0.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.5 is 2. So that means I don't want my piece sticking out any further than that right there. Okay, and it'll probably be a little sticking out less than that. Okay, so you'll see here that the chuck jaws or teeth right here actually probably take up about 1 inch. So I'm going to put it in there, my piece in there. I'm going to tighten it right here. Tighten, tighten, tighten. Okay, to right about there, I'm going to make it snug just a little bit. And I'm going to tighten here a little bit. And I'm going to tighten here a little bit. Okay, you don't need to over tighten it. Like, it doesn't have to be super tight. This is the chuck guard. The machine will not start if this is up. It has to be down. Okay, so you've got a few assignments, but your first one's really easy. It's just make different kinds of cuts. So if you see here, I've actually got a lot of different tools. Okay, and the whole reason I have this assignment is just so you can learn what all the different tools do. I think the easiest one to start with will be this guy right here. Come over here. So to loosen this, you push this that way. To tighten it, you bring it back around. Okay, so you tighten it right there. Make sure it's all lined up right. If you ever want to change these tool bits out, there's a little key. You go grab it. Right here. This is your tool key. And you can loosen these, and you can pull these tools out, and then I've got more tools over here. You see in this drawer, over here, let me show you. You can see I've got more tools, so you can change these out. Alright, this one's off center, so I probably won't use it. Alright, so that's how you change out those bits. I'm not going to do it right now, or you know what, here, I'll change it. No, I'm not. Okay, just take 2 of these out, and then put something else in, make it flush, tighten it back. Okay, so alright, now look at these handles. They all do different things. This is the big one that moves it left and right on the Z axis is what it's called. This one right here goes towards the center and away from the center. Okay, this is the X. Okay, so before you ever start the machine, you need to have it away. This is also a machine, never start it without letting me know. I want to be here watching you doing it several times, probably every time you use this machine. Okay, so, and then this one right here actually does little small movements left and right. So you can see it kind of moving slowly left and right. Okay, because these have bigger measurements, so if you do something really precise. Okay, So let's talk about, let's get started. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this guy on. Okay, never touch that chuck. Even when you turn it off and it's still spinning slow, don't put your hand in there. You can really hurt yourself. Okay, the biggest dangers are 1, leaving the chuck key in there, 2, putting your hand in there, because like sometimes there'll be little stuff like this that's like in the way of your piece, and you're going to want to move it out while it's spinning. Don't do that, you'll hurt yourself. If you move this in here, you could hurt the whole machine by hitting the tool into the chuck. So those are things you don't want to do. Okay? Make sure you have safety glasses on. Okay. So I'm going to start. And the first thing we're always going to do with any piece is we're going to do what's called facing the piece. Okay? So look, I come right here to the edge, and then I'm just going to go in. You see it? It's cutting that in. And then it cuts it off, okay? And what that does is give me a nice, clean, flat edge. So if I stop this, it's completely flat and smooth, okay? You can see before I cut it with a saw, so it was a little jaggedy, it wasn't quite even. This makes it nice and even, okay? So now we got to zero out our piece, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and I'm going to go right to the very point of where you see where that dot hits both the face and the side, okay? And I'm going to move on this dial, I'm going to move both of these to 0, okay? And this might be a little, I need to put some oil on this guy. And moving it. There it is. Go the long way around. It's about right. So, right. Okay. So look, now, whenever I go this way, forward, oh no, I go a little bit this way. Whenever I go forward, I'm going to be able to tell how far I've gone. Imagine this is like a big spinning ruler, this dial. So if I go here, I've moved 0.2 of inches into the diameter. So actually I'm only going 0.1, but this measurement's from the diameter, not the radius. So this is how I know how much I need to cut off. If I need to cut off 0.1, I can go to there. 0.01, if I need to cut off, you know, a ½ an inch, I can keep going. Here, see 0.8, this is 0.2, okay? If I keep going, 0.4, and if I go to 10, right there, that's ½ an inch, which actually should be right in the center of this, which looks like it is, okay? So this is basically how you measure how far you've moved, all right? For the first part, it's not going to be important, but later when we're holding tolerances, which is accuracy, so right there, and that looks about right. So this one, I'm going to get right. Luckily this one's easier to move. Okay, I'm lining that guy up right there. Same thing. If I want to move in, I can tell I've moved in by 0.2. Okay? So, and it's going to take me back. If I want to go back to my center and go to 0, look, I'm back at the 0 spot. If I want to go, it's actually going to be right about there, so let's move this just a hair. Okay, there we go. Alright, so if I want to go 0.1 in, see it's taking it 0.1 that way. I'm going to go 0.4. Okay, see it's 0.4 right there. Just taking it in 0.4. Okay, so now no matter where I am, I can move these around. That dial just holds my measurement of my. And you can do this on here as well, but for this assignment, I'm not going to be using this for the small movements. But if you want, you can move this guy. But we'll do it just to be safe. Zero him out too. Well, actually, I'm not even on the 0, so there we go. Now I am. Okay. So let's get going. So I turn this on. I go here. So I'm going to move this in. Let's go by 0.4. Okay. You never really want to go more than 0.6 in here. So So then look, I'm gonna go, let's say this way by 0.2. Okay, so I'm gonna go in, I'm taking this dial, 0.2, done. Okay, now I can pull out like that, move back over my 0, and I'm gonna go in, let's go to a 0.2 towards the middle. So I'm gonna add another, get 0 out. I was at 0.4 earlier. We'll go to 0.8. I'm gonna take it to 0.1 in. So I'm gonna go here to 0.2. Good. Get back on this. Go back to 0. And I was at 0.8, so now I'm just going to go to 0.1, right there. And then I'm going to go back in to 0.2. Okay, sometimes you get stuff like that little lip right there. One trick you can do is take this to your 0, right there, and then go down with it. And it should actually. See, I'm at my 0. I can go down. And go a little bit more in. And I can kind of clean that up. And I want to be careful not to go into that spindle. And I'm done. Okay? So I went 0.1 into the diameter. So this is a 1/2 inch. This should be 0.4 deep. I went 0.2 this way. So that's 0.2 of an inch that way. So let's check it. Okay, so look. Right here. Says the measurement is, yeah, 1/2 inch, okay? So if I'm right, this next part should go to 0.4. Okay, closing it there. And look, it's pretty close. I mean, within, let's see. So I'm a little over. I'm at 4.29, or yeah, 0.429. So my tolerance wasn't that great there. But that's how you do it. But now let's just have fun. We're going to stop the measuring part, and we're just going to start going through the different tools. Okay? This tool right here cuts at an angle. It's really good, especially when you get to starting doing metal. You can feel that this gets really sharp, and you don't want that sharp because it can cut somebody. So you can take this tool right next to it and kind of level that edge off. All right, so here we go. Get right there. I'm just going to move in just a little bit. Done. Okay, now I can get that other edge right here. Okay, now if you feel this, it's not as sharp. Okay, not only that, you can also use it kind of as an engraver tool. Not the best for it, but it will work. And hopefully I get nicer tool bits later on, but look, I can just take it straight into there and make like a cool. Now look at that. I saw that spindle move. Now I should never touch the spindle while it's moving. I should stop it. But see, I didn't tighten this down. That could have been bad. Tighten that. Okay. Now, if you ever see that piece moving, that means you're putting too much pressure on it, so don't. Pull back. Okay. Got a nice little groove in there. Try to come like right, if you can. I know it's kind of like right next to you. So you can kind of see those angles I'm making. Okay. So, why don't you like try doing it right here? Okay. Please don't. Okay, so let's change the tool. Go on. Okay. This one makes even steeper edges, so let's go ahead and start that. Sometimes it's better to do it this way, just go like that. Oh, see how it's moving? I don't want that, so I need to slow down. Okay. And not only that, I can use this one in here for another kind of different groove. Take this stuff off. You can see I'm starting to make my piece. And excuse me. Hey guys, why don't you stop that for a second? I'm making a video. As fun as that is. Got some kids doing their electronics units, making noises. Okay, so this one can also part off, but I'm not going to do it. This is also probably the most dangerous one, so I'm going to go, you want to go pretty slowly. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a little cheat at this. I know how this is going to go down, so I'm going to put it at a slight angle. It's going to help spread out the force. Line it back up there. See, I'm moving that piece and I don't want that. So I'm not going to use that piece. So if I wanted to get something like that, I could use this guy, honestly. And I can just go in, touch them, and move on down. And you always want to go inwards. You don't want to bring it back outwards because the part will want to pull itself out. Oh, I went the wrong way. And I'm about to part this thing off. So, part off just means when you separate the piece from the... And usually there's a different tool for this. I don't have one yet. I've got more tools I've ordered on the way. But I want you guys to get started on this unit, so I'm going to go in a little bit more. And then I'm going to go trying to make a little top. Okay, that's as thin as I want it, and then now I'm just gonna go right in. And this should pop off here soon. There it goes, it's going, there. Okay. Now, if you're ever using metal, even the plastic, you don't want to put your hands in this stuff. When it's the metal shavings, it can cut you. I mean, that metal comes off so thin. Okay? So you can see here, I made a little piece, a little part. Okay? Try to make a top. I think it's a little too tall. So let's see. Let me see if we can get it. Nope. Let's try over here. Nope. Nah. There it goes. So you can see that. But you can make a lot of things, so. But these are the kind of things, so. Eventually you can move on to metal. Right now I just have a bunch of Delron. I want you to start your first couple of projects with the small stuff, and then you can do one project with the big metal pieces. Alright? When you're done, make sure you get the shop vac before the end of the day. This one right here. Let me show you. This guy right here. Wheel him over, plug it in. Okay, hit the switch to power it on. Take this guy out and vacuum up all those shavings. Like I said, don't touch that stuff with your hands. I mean, it's okay with the plastic stuff, but with the metal stuff, nope, it's really not good. Alright? And remember, you gotta get 100% on your safety test before you touch this thing. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.